Hello guys and welcome back to another unboxing video here on ZapFeed. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the EasySMX X05 PRO. Now this is a controller that can be used on PC, Switch, iOS and Android, and it's more in the sort of budget controller section of the market. However, I'm really intrigued to see how it actually feels, of course how it performs in real world use as well. But in this video we're going to be taking a look at my first impressions and of course the unboxing experience of this product. Now we've got it in white here, it looks like. It comes with a whole load of amazing features. The box looks really clean and simple, but I'm excited to get into it. So if you look on the back, it does say all of the different features that it has. Hall effect sticks, which help with reducing a lot of that drift that you can get with traditional controllers. You've got vibrant RGB zones, so you've got different RGB lighting on this controller as well. A whisper text silent button, so intrigued to see what that is about. I guess it's a lot quieter of a D-pad option than you'd have on other controllers. Re-engineered 8-way D-pad as well, so not just up, down, left, right, it's also sort of up and right and up and left and that sort of thing as well, also down of course as well. You got trigger vibration feedback, 2 programmable buttons on the back, which I'm really excited to test out as well. The dual stage triggers and the skin touch grip coating. So really excited to see what this controller is all about. It is a wireless controller as well. It comes with a decent sized battery, so hopefully the full testing will reveal what that's like. But let's crack straight into this box right here. I want to give you my first impressions. I want to see what it feels like. I want to see what it looks like, of course, and what the overall unboxing experience is like. Now, I should mention before we do get into this box actually that EasySMX did send this product out for me for review, but they did not tell me what to say. They have no influence on anything that I say inside of this video and of course the full review as well. So big thank you to them for sending me out this amazing controller. So let's take a look. Let's slide out the controller right here and you can see it is immediately greeted to us. Of course you do get a USB-A to USB-C cable, as you would expect with these devices. Of course, it does have a battery. I think it said on the back, what was the size of the battery? 1000 milliamp hours, so that should be plenty for your needs. And it looks like this is about a 1 meter long cable. I always like to test the cable length in these videos. 1 meter length cable, which should be absolutely plenty, but realistically, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know about you guys, I've got USB-C cables coming out of my ears, so I wouldn't need to use that specific one, but it's good to know it's there as well. Now, we've also got the quick start guide, as well as the instruction manual, so you can connect it via a few different ways. You can connect it via the PC with a receiver. You can of course plug it in manually I suppose manually as well, and wired mode. So you've got the PC receiver, you've got the switch mode as well, which is going to be really exciting to test out, and the mobile Bluetooth option on this controller. Now it should be mentioned that this controller I don't think is going to be working with your PlayStations or your Xboxes. This is purely for PC, Switch, iOS, Android, those devices. Now before we get into the actual controller, let's take a look at the actual receiver. This feels pretty standard. I mean, you know, the build quality of this is not quite as important, I suppose, as the controller itself. This is just going to go into your PC and really not really be thought of, I'd imagine, or hopefully, of course, as well. It's just going to sort of work pretty well. But of course, it has that plastic cover to protect the USB-A port. Pretty small form factor as well. And it does have this button on the back as well, which I assume is for pairing. So that's going to be really useful for when we plug it into the PC. Now the main event, the real deal, the product that we've all been waiting for here. It is the, oh hello, I've accidentally turned it on and wow, okay, all right, that has some weight to it. Now, my big concern with this, and I suppose sort of third-party controllers in general, is usually the weight. You know, how does the controller actually feel in the hand? Does it feel like a premium product, or is it one of those cheap plastic, not very heavy, not very nice feeling? And although it is plastic, and there's some rubber on the back, it feels really high quality. It feels nice and weighty. It feels like a proper, you know, PlayStation 5 official or Xbox controller, and that's good. That's a good thing to note. Of course, you can see the RGB lighting effects there on the top and on the sides. I don't believe you can control that, although we will have a look inside the instruction manual in a moment. But first impressions on this controller, really, really nice. It has a very similar sort of form factor to the Xbox One controllers and the Xbox Series X or whatever the Xbox sort of model is right now. I'm a PlayStation guy myself, so I don't know too much about those. But it does feel like an Xbox controller, basically. It has that same sort of form factor, of course. The joysticks are sort of in that sort of orientation, very similar to what you see on Xbox. Of course, you have X, Y, A, and B on these buttons as well. And let's try out these this D-pad. Oh yeah, very silent, actually. A very silent D-pad indeed. You can see what they're saying. What did it say on the back of the box? It said Whisper Text Silent button. So I guess that means it's, yeah, a lot quieter. And you can get some controllers that have a really loud D-pad, so that's a nice feature there as well. Of course, you have the on-off switch at the top. You have the USB-C connector there. Let's see how the joysticks feel, and of course the triggers feel really good. They have some nice weight to them. They have some nice resistance to them as well, so when you're pressing them down like that, they do flick back nice and quickly and nice and solidly. You have these two buttons on the back as well, so the M2 and the M1, so these are sort of programmable customization buttons that you can use. And it looks like there are some switches on the back. Now I should probably look at the button layout here. So it says view button, so of course you have this one, which is also a back button. You have the menu button, of course, here as well. What's this one? This is the turbo capture button. So I'm assuming this is like if you want to, you know, maybe you're on PC, you want to try and capture the last sort of 30 seconds of your gameplay. That one's going to be really useful for that. M1, M2, you've got trigger lock as well. This is what the trigger lock feature is about. So I'm guessing when it's in the sort of open section, the trigger's fully compressed like that. So, you know, they go all the way down. Let's compare it to if we put it on the lower, oh yeah, so you can see the difference. That's me fully pressing the one on your right of your screen down. And you can see it really prevents it from going all the way. I'm assuming this is going to be really useful for shooting games where you just need to quickly press the triggers without having to press it all the way down, because those extra couple of milliseconds are probably going to make a difference. And although that actually feels really weird as someone that never really uses a feature like that, because I'm not that good at games when it comes down to controller, I do think that feels really strong and really solid. Like, that doesn't feel like it shouldn't feel like, if that makes sense. It feels exactly as I'd expect it to for that sort of feature to feel like. And then of course you can manually turn it on and off with the buttons on the back, which is quite nice because it's not often that you get controllers or even devices these days that you don't have to do stuff in the software to actually adjust how the controller feels. It's a physical button, which you can do on the fly while you're playing, which is great. Also on the back, you've got the option switch for how you want to connect. So it seems like this one is the receiver, so the far right is the wireless receiver, the one in the middle is Bluetooth, and the one on the far left is the Nintendo Switch. So I'm assuming that also sort of works via Bluetooth as well, but it has a different sort of back-end system, so it needs to connect via that one. So again, a really nice manual switch that helps you to switch between them if you need to do that. I'm sure most of the time I'll be using it on my PC, so it'll be the PC mode for that one. But this controller, man, it feels really nice. It feels excellent. Of course, no paddles on it, but at this sort of price point, you really cannot complain for that. You, of course, do get these programmable buttons as well, which I assume you do in software, which we'll take a look at in this lovely user guide as we get right here. So you get some function shortcuts, you get turbo mode, vibration, so all these different, oh, you can actually change the RGB light color and mode, didn't know that. So double click M button, left joystick up, down. So double click M button, so let me see if I can do that right now. Let me see if I can change the lighting. So double click M button, left joystick left, and then right. Oh wow, what was that? That's like vibrating. Oh wow. Pressing it once doesn't make it vibrate, pressing it twice does. So left joystick left. That doesn't actually change the colors. I'm assuming it probably needs to connect to... Although actually low key it does kind of change the colors a little bit. I don't know. That's interesting. So I'm guessing also the back here, does that actually... Is that some sort of a wireless charging option? I don't know what those connectors are actually. It doesn't say on the user manual either what those actually mean. Interesting. Okay. So, of course, joystick adjustment settings as well. You can also do on the controller the back button mappings. So you press M and M1 or M2. So you can hold down, press that one and press that one. And I'm guessing these can be press the target button, and then that becomes the M1 or M2 button. So you can do it all in the controller. It's not even a software-based device. That's actually really useful because it means that you can map these back two buttons, which are really easy in reach, to something like, you know, a D-pad or something, you know, one of these buttons here maybe that you don't use it if you're not a claw grip user. That can actually be really useful, especially for games there, you know, maybe you need to jump. So I obviously, you know, used to play Fortnite on controller, and that was, you needed a jump button and you needed to bring out your builds on one of the back buttons, which used to be, for me, was paddles. But you could sort of replicate that with, yeah, you could do that with these as well. Yeah, that would also work. So you could jump with those and then it would sort of work whilst also shooting. Because you could, yeah, that works. Okay, I like that. So you can, of course, control it all on the controller itself, instead of actually having to go into any software. And actually, you know what? That is literally it for the instruction manual. It has it in all these different languages, but it's all the same. So in terms of actual setup and actual using it, I will have to obviously use it myself and have a look on it. And of course give you that full review when I can. But this controller, first impressions, first unboxing, feels really, really solid. Everything about it, I love the rubber on the back actually as well. I forgot to mention that. The rubber feels really nice, really, really grippy rubber, so it doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere in your hands. I like the color scheme as well, gray and white. Very clean, not too dramatic, not too boisterous at all when it comes to your color scheme, not too bold for your living room or your gaming room, which I quite like, but it does have the additional features of the lighting as well, which I really like. So I'm gonna get this tested out. I wanna try it on PC. I play a lot of Rocket League on controller on PC these days, so that's probably the game that I'll be using this for. I'll be testing it with my Nintendo Switch, of course, as well as mobile, so I'll be testing all of the features, but really intrigued to see how this controller performs in the real world. So if you haven't seen that review video, of course, make sure to check it out. It'll be on the screen somewhere right now. Thank you all so much for watching this review. If you'd like to check out this product, check the link down below as well. It is, of course, an affiliate link, so if you'd like to support the channel, then please do make any purchases through that link. It is much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching this review, this unboxing, and make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.